Good afternoon, Mr. Pete again. Today we're going to talk about fractions. I hope you're all doing well. We are going to talk about fractions today. So let's think back to where we began from when we would count. What number would we always start with? More than likely we would start with the number 1. Every day we encounter one of something. We see it in all parts of our day. Let's think about people. Olivia. Olivia is one girl. Olivia is one unit. She represents one unit. I'm one unit. You are one unit. Each of us represents one unit. In school, in our classrooms, we might have the golden beads. The golden bead represents one. It is one unit. When we are doing division or subtraction, we might have a number of golden beads and we distribute them until we don't have enough left so that everybody gets the same amount. Sometimes we're left with one, and what do? We just put it aside. So let's talk some more about one. I'm hungry. Olivia's always hungry. I've got this apple. I want to share it with Olivia. What can I do? Well, if you see a knife, I can cut it. I'm going to cut this apple so that Olivia gets some and I get some. Perfect. Olivia, here's yours. Here's mine. Problem? Not happy? I wouldn't be either if I were you. Why aren't we happy? Because we didn't get the same amount. I'm happy. We didn't get the same amount. If you're not happy, I'm not happy. We didn't get the same amount. What can we do? Don't worry, I will eat these. Let's try it again. What can we do? We can cut it equally so that I can share it with Olivia and she stops crying. I'm going to get this equal. Well, you know it's kind of equal. You can see the seeds in the middle. So what did I do? I divided it. These pieces are called fractions. Fractions make up, when they're together, they make up one whole unit. I have a whole apple. Now I have fractions of an apple, parts of an apple. Here's the important part. They have to be equal. To make up one whole, the fractions have to be equal. I'll eat these too. Where did the word fractions come from? Much of our math decimal system that we work on in our classroom, a lot of it comes from ancient Rome. And the ancient Romans, when they were dividing, let's say 8 divided by 4, because fractions are just division, 8 divided by 4, they would write down and they would say 8 fractus 4. The word fractus, fraction comes from fractus. It means to split up, it means to break apart, it means to divide. Now, we like to do things quick. We like to save time. So the word fractus was eventually dropped. And 8 fractus 4 became 8F4, F standing for fractus. And of course, we're still trying to make things go faster. So over time, the F just turned into a diagonal line. This looks a little bit more like what we see today. And it still means 8 fractus 4, 8 divided by 4. Another way that it's written is 8 divided by 4. Let's look at one more example, and then I'm going to eat the apples. This is one whole. In the Montessori fraction circle work, you'll see a lot of these. Don't cut them. I made this out of paper. I can cut this one. Are these fractions? You're right, they aren't. Good job, they're not fractions. Why? I heard you. Because they're not equal. We have to make sure they're equal. Here's another circle, one hole. Let me do a little air fold, origami term. And I'm going to try with these scissors to get it equal. And it looks good. There we go. All right. I have two equal parts. I've taken this one whole and split it into two equal parts. These are fractions. What's the rule for fractions? They must be equal. They must be the same size. They must represent the same amount. Put together, they have to be the same, and they represent one whole. We're going to talk some more about fractions. I'm going to eat some apple. All right, let's keep talking about fractions. I ate all the apple pieces. I'm full. Dinner will be soon, but this will hold me for a while. I've brought out the metal insets and the Montessori fraction pieces. What we want to talk about is family names. You have a name. You have a first name and you have a last name. Fractions have a first name and a last name also. We can think of this as the house where everybody lives. And everybody that's in this house right now might have the same last name. This is one whole. You can see that it's just one. And I can take this one and I could fit this in every single frame here. Remember, when we divide one whole up, we're dividing it into equal pieces. The number of pieces we divide it into is the family name. We've cut, just like the apple, we've cut the one whole into two pieces. We call that halves or seconds. It's two pieces. You'll notice here, if you look closely, I have the fractus line here. So we're putting the family name underneath the fractus line. This has been divided into three pieces. When something is divided equally into three pieces, it's called thirds. This has been divided into four parts equally. We call that fourths. We can also call it quarters. How many quarters are in a dollar? How many quarters are in a football game? This has been divided into five pieces. We call those fifths. Down here, we've divided this into six pieces. We call those sixths. This has been divided into seven pieces. These are called sevenths. These have been divided into eight pieces. This is called eighths. This circle has been divided evenly into 9 pieces. We call that ninths. This has been divided into 10 pieces. We call those tenths. So we have seconds or halves, thirds, fourths or quarters, fifths, sixths, sevenths, eighths, ninths, and tenths. Fractions go beyond tenths. We're stopping here. And I'm going to bring out some more pieces just to show you how fractions can look different but still be the same.